Hi all, let's continue with these how to start a band videos. Let's go back to the song list item. When we did it earlier, it came out to 6 hours. Normally you only play like 10 to 2, and I think sometimes you even quit like quarter to 2, 1:45. So I just thought we'd run through a few of these. So 3 sets, that's the standard. Each set is an hour and 15 minutes. So that's 75-minute set. 3-minute song would be 25 songs a set. That's with no break between each song. So you always take a little break. So this one kind of makes more sense here. 75-minute set, 4-minute song. That's like a 3.5 minute song, 30-second break, So that works out to 18 songs. Okay, and then here, set 1, set 2, set 3, from 10 p.m. to 11:15, 15-minute break, start again at 11:30, play till 12:45, 15-minute break, start at 1, play till 2:15. So here, I don't think people normally play till 2:15. Usually quit about 2, quarter to 2. So that's just something you have to work out with your employer, the place you're playing. So that's a lot of songs. So if you think about it, when a big star does a show at a Coliseum, they only do about 90-minute shows. So here you're doing 3 of those, 1, 2, 3 in one night. So that's a lot of songs. Okay, so if you go with this one here, 18 songs a set, 18, so 20, 40, 60, it's less than 60 songs if some of the songs are longer than 4 minutes. So you can see that's why people say, about 50 songs. It's always nice to have more than less. In the world of public speaking, when you give a lecture, they always say to have like 25% more than what you would normally need. So the whole idea is you don't want to run out of information. You don't want to run out of songs. So. And nothing wrong with just jamming too. If the audience is dancing and getting into it, just jam for a while. But don't take advantage of it. Jam for a while, the singer can go take a break, or let the bass guitar do a solo, and the guitar player and the singer can go take a break, or drum solo for 15 minutes, or maybe not 15 minutes, but then the rest of the band can go off and take a break, work things like that into your show. It looks like it's part of the show, but it's actually like a built-in break. Okay, so here I've got a section on your personal life. When I taught music for 8 years, guys used to call me Preachin' Jimmy. Preachin' Jimmy. Okay, so make sure you exercise. We all have a few pounds to lose, or some of us, Be sure to eat healthy. Last I knew, record companies drug test. I think I heard that back around 2000 or so. So, kick your bad vices. The fella that I mainly studied guitar with, he played in all the heavy metal bands in my state. He had said to me, he said if they're into drugs or if they're alcoholic, once you start playing the bars, it only gets worse. Because now they got cash in their pocket and they're drinking way more or they're doing more drugs at the bar. So it's best to get away from that stuff. Remember, you're starting a business. You want to make it in this business. You don't want to. You don't want people to drag you down, right? Plus, vices, drugs, alcohol will make you die young. It's the difference between living to 60 or living to 80. If you live to 80, you get to see your grandchildren grow up to be adults. Okay? I'm sure you've seen all type of articles where sex ruins a person's career or puts a big black mark on the career. So, keep it in your pants at work. There's nothing wrong with asking women out, but don't fool around with the other band members. If you got female band members, you don't want to destroy the band. There was a big band in the 80s, 90s that there's 2 female in the band and 3 guys, and it was just like they just kept switching partners, end up destroying the band. So best thing to do is, common saying is, don't shit where you eat. Don't fool around where you work. Quit smoking. Back in the 60s, 50s or so, they actually had commercials that said smoking was healthy for you. So, I think most people now realize that it's not good. Plus, it's just way too expensive. $7 a pack is just crazy. So, a couple stories here. My aunt, she died of lung cancer. And it took 2 years to die. 2 years. She woke up one day, she had a little sore here in the back. And got it checked. It turned out to be lung cancer. And she laid at the house for a year in the bed, and then she went to nursing home for a year. So it's a tough way to die. I had a friend of a friend. This was back in the early 80s. Guy was a coal miner, smoked a lot, and I had heard he did drywall for a while too. That's supposed to be worse than smoking and working the coal mines. But he's a young guy. He's probably my age back then, a little older maybe. So we're talking late 20s, early 30s. But sharp-looking guy, But got lung cancer. I had heard that the doctors opened him up for a lung operation, and his lungs were so bad they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't even sew him back up. So I never heard what happened to him, so I'm sure it wasn't good. Plus, if you do drugs or booze, if you drink a lot, your liver will go out. And what happens when your liver goes out is you blow up like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That happened to a relative of mine. It took about 5 years to die. He was a sharp guy. He was always thin, but never really saw him drunk. But he always went to the bar after work. He worked factory. Pound down a couple beers. When he was about 58, that's when his liver gave out. Sometimes your kidney goes. When your kidney goes out, you die like instantaneously. I saw a news article on the TV a few years ago. A woman went to the doctor because she thought something might be wrong, and she died in the doctor's office. That's how fast it happens. If your pancreas fails, that's like, there's no way to fix that these days. So here, there's nothing wrong with partying, but you don't want to die young. You know, there's a big difference between partying and being an alcoholic or being a drug addict. And you know, as far as the band goes, remember it's just an act. You know, sure, you're in rock and roll, or you might be in rock and roll, but remember it's just an act. Okay. I know when I taught music back in the 90s, I remember seeing a clip of Metallica walking around their mansion in suits. So, you know, they're on stage, they're in their heavy metal gear, they're in their costume. When they go home, they dress like everyone else. You know, they're normal people. Maybe not in their younger days, but when they got rich. The whole idea is, if you do make it in the music business and get rich, you don't want to die young. You know, what good is that? So, okay, so that's enough of that. Okay, so next we'll go over song writing. If you want to make it in the music business, you'll have to know how to write a song. So you're going to have to study music theory, how to write a song, things like that. Lyrics, how to write lyrics. You know, it doesn't just randomly happen. You'll have to know how to copyright your songs. You'll have to understand royalties. You know, you have to work with a lawyer and deal with these types of things. You have to learn it beforehand. So if you do make it, you already got a general understanding of how this stuff works, because you're going to be too busy. So I plan on doing more videos on that type of thing. In the meantime, just check out a few books, check out a few articles on the web. You know. Really doing a copyright isn't that hard these days. There's a website that you go to, and I think it costs $25 a song. You just put it on your credit card. It used to be you could copyright like 10 songs for $10, you know, the whole album. But I think I looked at it a little while ago, and it's $25 per song. They probably got tired of storing all these songs, you know, and these days you just upload an MP3 of your song. We used to send in a tape or CD, so they make it pretty easy now, but it costs a lot more. So, you know, the best way to study songwriting is to study what the pros do. You know, and I've been through enough songs where it's all pretty much well the same. It's a standard structure, you know, some type of catchy vocal melody with a hook. You know, there's really not much to a popular song. So you know, there's song structure, you know, the hook. The hook is the catchy part of the song. Sometimes it's the guitar, sometimes it's the vocal hook, you know. There's a vocal melody, you know, that's what you sing. You know, you're not just singing E, 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 you know. Sometimes they do, and it works, and it's a hit, but it's not one of the songs that will last forever. You know, a real song has a nice vocal melody. It's going to last 20, 30 years. And lyrics are the part that keeps people coming back. In general, what they say is the music catches people, it brings them to the song, but good lyrics keeps them coming back. Okay, we'll go into more detail with that stuff. I think I have a few videos on melodies, but I plan on doing a lot more. I've never really studied lyrics. I've read a little bit about it, but just pick up a couple lyric books. You know. Normally, one person isn't an expert at everything. You know, one person does the music, another person does the lyrics. You know, it's real rare to find someone who can do both. Okay? That's why you always hear about songwriting teams. Okay, so we'll go into more detail in other videos. Okay, so next, you have to build your company. Maybe not right away, but you have to be thinking about these things, especially when you start playing out. Are you going to be a sole proprietor or an LCC?